Juicy woman spears, for sure.
Excuse me. Did you see
There's
the
free
TV show?
water upstairs.
I hear Adriana's walking.
I brought some tissues in case it was emotional. This season.
Test one, two, test one, two, test one, two, test one, two. The levels. Good evening, I am Juanki, and welcome to my world. Okay, on this Friday night, I am testing the ability to go vertical and horizontal at the same time. I'm part of this the system that I use. I'm part of their beta testers, and we've been testing for a long periodical of time, and they had taken it away. They say, you upstairs, you are out of it. So I haven't been able to do this for quite some time, but they just finally rolled it out, and I've been enabled again. So let me know if you're watching me horizontal or vertical. Let me know in the comments so that I need to get all of the settings right on the horizontal. Okay, you see it there and you see it there. I play some music at the beginning. I don't think the people who were watching me vertical, is it vertical or which one is vertical? Vertical, horizontal, the horizon, the vertical. People who were watching me vertical did not, I don't think you could hear the music. So that's something. You are live on both sides. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Let me see. Let me put the comment up. Does it go on both sides? Yes, you are live on both sides. Okay, but my question is, vertical, were you able to hear the song vertical? I don't think you're able to hear the song vertical. And then I have a timer and a circle that I do when I'm horizontal. I don't think I can replicate that vertical. But that's neither here nor there. Good evening. Hi. Hello. Happy Friday. Well, it's actually Good Friday today. So those of you who observe, yeah, already know. Anyway, I'm so glad it's Friday. It's been a long periodical week. Couple more days. It's Easter. The both sides. Okay. Yes, I heard it both sides. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. So then I just have to figure out how to do a screen, a curtain on the other side. Anyway, today, my day, we observe the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. I'm not part of organized religion like that. I don't go to the church like that, but I do have my things that I do observe and believe in. So we were off from work today. We've just been chilling. We did have, oh my God, my mouth is watering. We had a nasty piece of lunch at the Red Lobster again. That Lobster Fest. Oh my God. I still got a little bit of leftovers downstairs that I'm going to have right after this, before I get in bed with my Incredible Hulk to watch and catch up with Beyond the Gates. But we went over there and we had the lobster tail. Oh my God, we have the Lobster Fest dish. We had the lobster tail with some melted butter, some broccoli, and then they had some fried lobster chunks, I guess, right? And then it was a potato with, it was a lobster and cheese potato. And then it was mac and cheese and lobster. Oh my God, I was so lobstered out. And then before that, we started it out with crab cheese dip with some chips. And we finalized it with a key lime pie. All right. I had a food coma. I got home and I just had to get in bed. We slept for like 4 hours after that. It was delicious. It was a good time with my husband. Thank you so much, baby. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right. We are going to get into one of the somebody's asking for advice. And y'all know how I give the advice up in here. If you are new here, I come through every single night. You just never know what kind of video you're going to get out of me. I am a cornucopia of stuff. Tonight we'll be reading a post from somebody who is seeking advice all the way from LA. I went to LA once. I also fought in LA 3 times that weekend. And my friends drove me to LAX and put me on the next flight to New York. I was supposed to be in LA for 2 weeks, scoping it out, seeing if that's the place I want to land in and be at and do some. Well, they don't have theater, do some more TV stuff out there. Because my friends said that, oh, they're going to love you out here. You got the theater credits. And, you know, if you come from Broadway, off Broadway, and you have the degree, they're going to eat you up. They like people who are trained, professionally trained. Come. I was like, all right, let's see. For 2 weeks, I was going to sleep on my friend's couch, right? While I landed there and see what. And I went over there and ride it in Rodeo Drive. I got into my 3rd and final fight of the weekend. And they was like, oh, no, you got to go. The H&M at Rodeo Drive. A homosexual tried it. And the homosexual didn't understand that I'm from New York and I don't play that shit. So, anyway. All right. Tonight's advice seeker is asking the man in the men advice section. He says, why is dating in LA so exhausting despite, quote, doing everything right? I can already see how this is going to go. Y'all ready? Here we go. Hi, all. Hey, y'all. Hi, all. I'm 25, male, now living in Santa Monica, and I've had very little success dating here. I'm trying to understand why it feels so difficult. A few patterns I've noticed. I don't really know where people my age hang out outside of nightlife. When my friends and I try talking to women at bars or clubs, it often feels like we're bothering them, even when they're just making casual conversation. I haven't experienced that level of coldness elsewhere. Also, most events I come across skew late 20s to early 30s. So I've ended up relying heavily on dating apps. Okay. You're trying to adjust to the realities of what you signed up for. Okay, he continues. On paper, I feel like I've done the right things. I went to a good university, have a solid career path, and stay active. Parentheses, gym, pickleball, hiking, and the parentheses. I'd ideally like to meet someone with similar interests and lifestyle. But after a few years of trying, the pattern is always the same. 1 or 2 dates, then ghosting or flaking, very rarely a direct, quote, not interested, end of quote, message. I even tried lowering my standards, not lowering your standards. I even tried lowering my standards recently just to test if that was the issue, but the results didn't change. At this point, it just feels exhausting. I'm not someone who gives up easily, but it's starting to feel like no matter what I do, the outcome is the same. Mind you, he's 25 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. I'm just looking for a healthy, supportive relationship, nothing unrealistic. I've always done better meeting people in person, so I'm especially curious. Where do people in their early mid-20s actually meet on the West Side outside of nightlife? Also, how is dating this hard? It feels like it should be more fun than this. A bit about me. Oh, here we go. A bit about me. I'm into pickleball. Parentheses. Will be great to meet someone though through it. And the parentheses. Reading, writing, cooking, traveling. 20 countries so far. Chess. I don't know what he has a little, I don't know, is that a tilde? I don't know what that is, but it says 1100. I don't know what that means, 1100. History, golf, still learning, and camping, which I love even if my friends don't. I've also written a novel I'm currently editing. Okay. He came to the men's section and is giving us his whole profile. We really appreciate any perspective or advice. And boy, do I have a perspective and advice for you. But the first person, who's a man, I guess born in 1990, says, he quotes him, "A bit about me. I'm into pickleball," and there's that whole section I just read. And the guy goes, "Sorry to be blunt, bro. It's LA. No one cares." Are you good looking or not? That is the point. It's LA. Somebody says, "Thank you. This not about his race, height, or face rating. Women, especially in LA, don't care if you play pickleball." Oh my God. Somebody else says, "I'm a Bay Area dude and haven't been down there, but the humble bolt to San Francisco, that's the stereotype about both men and women in LA, that it's all about looks and money." But then is it really just LA? I mean, I could tell you that New York City, if you, if you're in the right circles, it's all about success, money, and the things that you have. I think that's everywhere. I think that's just human nature, right? Just like most of America, but amplified by the amount of money in the area and generations of good-looking people swarming there from all over the world for their chance in the film industries. But there's also universities and other industries down there. So there's gotta be people that are into more than just sex and money. But I guess they might be harder to find, and that even they can be affected by the culture just due to proximity. I don't know. Feel free to correct me. LA, so California, folks. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, hold on, let me lower you right here. "Took the words right out of my mouth. No one cares. They want sex and drugs and alcohol and shopping sprees on Rodeo Drive. They want an unlimited American Express that you can just hand over and they don't ever have to see a bill for it. That's what they want. It's LA." All right, somebody says, "Yup, boring. This man needs achievement. Women want exceptional partners they can be proud of. A woman's status comes from her man and how many options she has. She needs to impress her girlfriends and family with him." I'm not going to continue to drag this poor man. After all, he's only 25, so he needs to learn, right? So this is, school is in session. School is in session. First of all, I hate when people generalize. There's always everything under the sun. So if you're coming across those types, it's because you continue to probably look in the same environment. That's what I've always said. You're continuing to look in the same environment. Switch it up. Go different routes. If you want to meet somebody through pickleball, which I don't even know what pickleball is, join a club. Join a meetup group. Go to pickleball matches and sit in the crowd and the audience and, I'm sure they do get-togethers, or they go to the bar or the juice bar. I don't know what pickleball is, but they go to the juice bar afterwards or the alcoholic bar. You go and, get more involved in the things that you like to do, and slowly people are going to show up in your life that enjoy the same things. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, okay, now here we go. LA is the fakest place full of superficial people with unrealistic expectations. Listen. I lasted 3 days. I was supposed to be there for 14, and I lasted 3. So and why? Because there was being fake and fraudulent, and talking and shit, and they needed to be handled the New York type of way. So I do think that that you can find good people in LA. You just have to know how to find them, and you have to be okay with eliminating, trimming all the fat from around you. I mean, that's something that I've done here in New York City, especially now that I'm in a happily married. Like, there's not all these characters around. And when I use the word characters, I don't mean like negative characters, the drug dealers, the drug pushers, the prostitution whores. Like, no, I just mean in general. I've always been like, I do my own thing. I've been social, yes, but I'm able to be social and still keep my own thing and my own space. And I like my space and the whole nine. And, and when I started dating Incredible Hulk, and then we got serious, got engaged, and then got married, through the whole process, and not just with Hulk, every time that I've been in, for the most part, in a romantic entanglement or situation, I tend to just block everybody else around, because there's just so many factors and so much, there's jealousy. And when I mean jealousy, it's like within a friends group, especially a place like LA, any big city, you have to be able to do your own thing and be okay with being by yourself at times, so that you don't have all these weird characters around. Somebody always wants something. They act like they're your friend right now, and they care for you so deeply, but are they going to be the same 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line, or the minute that they can dump you and go to something better to achieve something higher? There's in LA, there's people who are definitely have a map of how they go into social climb. Not just LA, New York too. How they're going to social climb, who they have to date so they could be put in the same room of people where they can then dump that person and go on to the next person who has more achievement, more money, more status, and can get them more. Like, there's people who have designed their life plan around that social climbing until they get to that point. I was talking to my husband recently, just talking about how people are, and in general, like, even as adults, how, some could be irresponsible, some could just feel like they're heartless, and I came up with it was like a eureka moment where I was like, you know what? Sometimes people are just trash. Yes. Sometimes people are just garbage. I grew up believing that everybody had a little bit of good in them, at least a little grain of salt worth of goodness in you. And even the villains can have a soft spot and a heart. And the more that I go through my life and my journey, I realize, no, there are people who are just trash. There are people who just are, and I can have the best of the psychiatrists and sociologists who have written journals say, that's a not a good thought and a good view to have on humanity. But no, I can now say, as grown as I am now, this is not the teenager me talking where I thought everybody had a little bit of good. There are people who are just garbage and are trash, and people who are just not good people. People who are only about self. They have no sense of community, and then you have the people who say, well, how do they get that way? Is their upbringing? Is their environment? No, it's not just that. No, how many people have we heard about that came from horrible beginnings and did the most amazing things in life? You understand? How many people have we heard that, had the best upbringings, the best upbringings and ended up being one of the worst murderers and rapists and are in jails and how all we hear that story. That's not an uncommon story. So I don't fault the upbringing as much. I do think that sometimes people are just garbage. And as I've gotten older, it is my responsibility to keep garbage away from me and those who I love, my Incredible Hulk, my family, my immediate family. Because I even cut it. If it's I want the nuclear family and on the next layer after the nuclear family, let God take care of that. Okay, I can't. Absolutely can't. You understand? But getting back to the LA guy, listen, you're 25 years old. You're 25. You're 25. You're not 52. You're not 35. You're 25. Go around and play the field. Get your heart broken a couple of times. Get played. That's all part of the game, especially when you're in a metropolis like LA. When you're in a place like LA, it's all par for the course. Okay, you're going to get played. You're going to, and then eventually you'll come across somebody who's worth your interest. That's just how it is. You're 25. You're not 45. You're not 35. You got at least another 5 years of you getting played, acting a fool, getting disappointed before people start getting more serious, Because if you're dating in your age range, let's say, actually, I always believe the men should be a little older. But let's say you're dating in that age range, between 24 to 26. Let's keep it in that age range. A 26-year-old bimbo from LA, you know what they want. They're concerned about, again, Rodeo Drive. How many cc's can I get in the next set of implants? Let me go tanning. I wanna date a banker so that I can go, get my Starbucks and go to Pilates, and then I got a facial, and then I'm gonna go to Rodeo Drive, and don't forget we got dinner tonight at the Soho House, and then we have a fundraiser next week. And what did you buy me for this? And when we're going on vacation? That's all they're fucking worried about. At least it's what I've experienced, what I've seen. Like, again, there's everything and anything under the sun. But from my experience, what I've seen with these two eyes and what I've experienced, that is what it is. Can you find, the girl who's going to UCLA for medical on a full scholarship based on brains? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. But she's also going to turn around and look and say, do I want to hitch my star to this shit? Okay? Do I? No. I need somebody who is in my field who will understand the labor intensive that it is, this degree. And then after this degree, the residency and everything, and has the same goals and can understand the struggle. So I'm not going to date anything but another lawyer, but another doctor. So in that case, pick a ball player. Okay, the guy who's been to 20 countries so far, all of these accomplishments for you, but take the UCLA full scholarship based on education, on merit, girl who wants to be a neuroscience, or a brain surgeon or something like that. You are way below her league. You understand? You see how the perspective changes right there? And it's all subjective, but you see how it changes right there. So anyway, in conclusion, my piece of advice to this man is continue to play the field. Continue to play the field. If you see that every time you get to your first interview, because that's what I consider all of that dating shit to be interviews. As a matter of fact, back in the day when I used to be coy, I used to tell the gentleman callers, make sure you bring your number 2 pencil because I'll have the bubble sheet for you. That's one of my liners, my one-liners. But keep on playing the field. If you see that every time you go to your interviews and you tell them you play pickleball and you've been to 20 countries and counting, then maybe you want to omit some of that bullshit because clearly it's not attracting the right candidates for your open position. Stop complaining, suck it up, and continue to date if that's what you want to do. You want to get a pickleball player girl, whatever. Join a club or a meetup. Go to the matches. Sit in the crowd. Do all of that. Are you well put together? That's another thing. Because he's saying all of this before all we know, he looked like Man Bear Pig thing. Okay, from South Park. Man Bear Pig thing. He's not put together. He stinks. He's so sweaty all the time because he's playing the pickleball and shit. His hair is unkempt. Like, we don't know what you look like. We don't know none of that. But best foot forward. Make yourself up. Put yourself together. And then just continue to play the field. That's it. That's it. I am so happy that they have released the dual model thing and that I'm able to do it again. This looks really good. I'm going to watch playback and see how it comes out. Oh my God. The spring is coming. It's coming. Although I saw 30 degrees again on the temperature thing for next week. So it is what it is. Anyway, I want to thank you for coming through. I do this every single night. Every single night. I've been going live every single night since December 1st, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. It's true. I am a cornucopia of stuff. You just never know what kind of video you're going to get out of me. So to keep up with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you know when I come through. When I come through. And now I can go vertical and horizontal at the same time. I could give it to you both ways. And you choose. You choose which way you want to see it and take it from. Okay, the vertical or the horizontal. It's your choice. But I give it to you. I present it to you both ways. I wish you a happy, productive Saturday. I will be doing spring cleaning all day tomorrow. We are starting the spring cleaning. This is a big house and it takes a while, so it'll be a couple of weekends of spring cleaning up in here. But I will be coming through tomorrow night with my Saturday night extravaganza. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.